NFL players are professionals, I think. Sometimes they seem like amateurs playing backyard football. So let's take a look at some of the worst plays of the 2023 season. We have to start with Lamar Jackson, who suddenly fell asleep and dropped the ball. Here, take a look.
A lot about football in his time off.
Football is loose, it's still loose. Houston's got it.
Crazy how the MVP made a play like that. At least he isn't alone, thanks to good old Zach Wilson, who decided to pull a Lamar and drop the ball.
Halfway through the fourth. Wilson lost it on that snap and was that recovered by Wharton inside? Yes.
This drop led to a game-sealing loss, and Wilson took full responsibility, which is unusual for him. However, a week later, the Jets found themselves on the fortunate side. Trailing 18-13, the Broncos decided to spice things up with a no-look backwards pass. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's see how that turned out.
James is on the field. And some trickery, but Mims lost it!
The Broncos thought they had the secret sauce. Not even close. Although little did the Broncos know that later in the season, they would be the ones recovering from a trick play. In Week 12, the Browns tried to be creative, but it went south fast.
And a reverse, and a bobble. The ball is loose, dribbled on the turf, and it's scooped up by DJ Jones.
That pretty much sums up the Cleveland Browns. But that is nothing compared to Kadarius Toney. Back in Week 1, Toney had a night to forget. With 11 minutes left in the third quarter, Toney faced a critical drop, allowing Lions safety Brian Branch to swoop in and score a pick six.
Mahomes throws the cross, is intercepted on the deflection. Brian Branch, the rookie, ties the game with his first NFL.
Toney's struggles continued as he dropped another potential first down later in the quarter, leaving fans furious. His performance was so poor that if he never stepped foot on that field, the Chiefs would have won. However, that wasn't the last of Toney. In Week 15, he turned a routine catch into a Patriots interception when he couldn't quite hold on to the ball.
Middle, Toney juggles, and it's picked by Jelani Tavai. And now Tavai throws it away. What is he doing?
Yeah, you can tell he's had a rough season. But one person fumbling the ball is always better than two on the same team. In Week 16, the Eagles took teamwork to a whole new level when two players collided during a kickoff return, resulting in a fumble and a Giants recovery.
Struggled to get it going offensively. Short kick, and a return here from Boston Scott. Runs into Olave Zacchaeus.
I think this play sums up the Eagles' season perfectly. At least the Eagles didn't lose that game, unlike the Chiefs when they tried to pull off that ridiculous trick play. The result? A fumble recovery turned into a touchdown.
Look at this. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground. Picked up by the Raiders. Do they have a touchdown?
What a sweet Christmas gift to the Raiders. I think we're all thinking the same thing at this point. Enough with the trick plays already. Although sadly, it gets worse. In Week 17, the Chargers attempted a fake punt against the Broncos, hoping for a surprise move. It ended up surprising the Chargers more.
Which they would be going for.
Oh, they tried to fake. It was fumbled in the backfield. It's not going to work.
You called it, James Lofton.
First learn to walk before we run, Chargers, okay? Now, fumbles aren't drops, but they sure sting the same if you're the one responsible. In a winner-take-all, with 1 minute and 6 seconds left and fourth down, Tyler Goodson found himself in a spot no player ever wants to be.
It's in Minshew's hand, and a drop by Goodson.
You hate to see a play like that when Goodson's response was, "I worked too hard to drop the ball like that." To be fair, it wasn't a good pass, but we all know if it hits the hands, you're supposed to catch it. Now, I do apologize, but there is one more play from Toney. The Chiefs pulled off a miracle game-winning play that will never be remembered because of this guy.
This to an open Travis Kelce, who flings it back over to Toney. My goodness, this is going for a touchdown.
Mahomes and Reed pointed fingers at the refs, but let's face it, Toney just loves when his team loses. Just like Chad Ryland when he missed a 30-yard game-tying field goal as time expired.
Ryland's kick is no good. Wide to the left.
I mean, come on, 30 yards? My high school kicker made those look easy. As we continue with players who love losing, one play stands out above others. On the last play of the game, down 29-25, Falcons quarterback Desmond Ridder threw a pass short of the end zone.
Ridder drops back, fires towards the end zone. It is caught.
It's crazy to think he would throw a pass 5 yards short of the end zone as the last play. What did Ridder expect? London to suddenly turn into LeBron James and dunk it in the end zone? However, this play faded when later in Week 1, Nick Mullins took the spotlight with an even worse play.
Mullins pressured again, and he gets dropped by B.J. Hill. Did he lose the ball on top of it?
What a play for Mullins in his first start of the season. Something Zach Wilson would do. A week later, one referee gave Lamar Jackson a not-so-friendly holiday present. We all know refs make bad calls, but bad plays? This is a first. And if you think that's bad, take a look at this one.
For your confidence, Mims took the ball out, dropped it, picked it up, and then dropped it again. And the Patriots recover for the touchdown.
This play sums up the Broncos' performance. Straight embarrassment. Although not as embarrassing as Titans punter Ty Zentner, who dropped the snap on a punt attempt.
Well, depending on the punt return, dictates what you do.
He's grabbed and finally taken down.
Man, that must have been a long walk back to the bench. But how can we not mention Jordan Love, who tried to pull off a quarterback sneak without the ball? Yeah, just messed up the operation with the cadence on that one. Oh, really? Thank you, Captain Obvious. Now, if you think that's bad, imagine being Kirk Cousins, who threw a pick six and then got absolutely crushed.
Cousins throws, picked off, and it could be from the 1 yard line. Cousins trying to track him down. He'll cut it back, get a block.
You have to give credit for Kirk's effort, but at the same time, it's tough not to laugh. He thought he was DK Metcalf.
Can Metcalf track him down? Can he chase him down? And he does the same.
It's pretty clear the NFL has little margin for error. Well, tell that to Jordan Love. Against the Saints on 4th and 2, guess what happens next? Yep, another botched trick play.
On the toss, back to Love, couldn't handle it. The low toss from Emmanuel Wilson, and the pass.
Seems like the pressure got to this young buck, unlike this postseason when he absolutely destroyed the Cowboys. Speaking of pressure, we have to talk about Deontay Johnson. He literally gave the ball to a Seahawks defender.
Want that from the quarterback. Rudolph on first down. Pass was bobbled. Oh, wow. And then intercepted.
This may be the worst play of the year. Deontay's got to cut down on the popcorn. Unexpected, huh? Well, this next one is the exact opposite. Justin Fields and the Bears were backed up close to their end zone. I think we can all agree, best case scenario is a punt. Well, sadly, they couldn't make it to 4th down.
Out of his own end zone, intercepted by Shaq Barrett, fighting at the goal line for a pick.
I do like Fields, and I think he's incredibly talented. But come on, man, get your head out of your ash. Same with Deshaun Watson, who thought he was playing rugby against the Titans.
He had that takeaway earlier. And a big penalty here to give Cleveland a fresh set of downs. Watson, boy, flings it back. That's a live football.
Nothing new, just the Browns being the Browns. Just like the Commanders. Man, do they stink this year. One play that does come to mind is when Sam Howell threw the ball right to A.J. Espenza for a pick six.
Down Howell. And it's intercepted! What a play!
Could Howell have telegraphed that any worse? I'm torn between which play was more pathetic, that or Fields. Doesn't matter, because if we're talking about worst plays, we're 100% gonna come across this play. With barely any time left and no timeouts, it's pretty obvious the Packers have to throw it into the end zone or out of bounds. But no, the Packers go for option number 3 and throw it inbounds, ending the half. I don't know, maybe Jordan Love had the under for the first half. That's the only possible explanation. Now, these are only the worst plays of this season. If you want to see the worst calls and get even more mad at the refs, click on the next video. I've rounded up the worst calls this year.